So we're not saying that all the mainstream media has completely failed, just most of them, most of the time. But out of the ashes, I think, a lot of new media are now taking over. I mean, the fact that, can we have a shot of this lot by any chance? The fact that we are speaking live, basically with 2 very cheap handycams, 4 laptops and 5 people, none of whom have ever made a live TV show and have got the faintest idea what they're doing. But we're able, basically for almost no money, sponsored by a few supporters, go live globally with absolutely no restrictions. There's no lawyers telling us we can't swear, fuck,
bollocks. Sorry.
No, there's no editorial policy here. We can really say whatever we want. So I do think that even though the mainstream media has failed on climate change, new things are happening. And Thom, you're sitting right here, has a great example, perhaps not on climate change, but tell us about what you did with your album and why you did it.
Why did we do it?
Well, what did you do?
We said, give us what you think it's worth. Something like that.
To your punters?
Yes.
Download it, pay whatever you want.
Pay what you see fit.
Yeah. And how did it go?
We got more money than we had done from the last few records from EMI.
Is that right? Because it all went 100% to you, no cut to the...
Yeah, no, nothing. And it was a spectacular success because it was like a big stink bomb to the industry, who still kind of don't like us very much. But and
why did you do that?
Why did we do that? We were out of contract with we had a 6-album contract with a EMI, which was at the time dying on its feet, well, just about to, and we wanted to get out, and we wanted to get out in style.
And you most certainly did.
Yeah, and it was really good fun. It was it's a bit like with this really. It was when you did your film. It's like the week we put it out was the most exciting week of my life because none of us knew what would happen, and we were basically relying on people's goodwill, and that was it. And the fact, that we had all these people that wanted to know what we were doing, and it was the satisfaction of putting 2 lines on your own website saying we've done it, it's here, and then
as opposed to going through months of corporate nonsense and press
and giving it to all these people to decide what they think of it, right there,
and lawyers and all that shit presumably.
Well, that sort of vibe. Yes, deliver the up front 2 months to MTV and none of that.
So you just chucked it up on your website. Brilliant.
Yeah, it was really good.
And thanks for the link to our film, because that is a little bit similar. I'm just going to grab Lizzie, who's currently directing this live TV show, but who's the producer of The Age of Stupid. I don't want to blow our own trumpets too much, but say about how we distributed our film and funded it in a similar way to Thom and Radiohead, but on a much smaller scale.
Well, you've kind of said it all for me.
Great, off you go.
We raised all the money to make our film from people who care about climate change. So we raised £500,000 actually from normal people. We've got 350 investors who bought shares in the film, and they own a percentage of the profits.
But the main point being that we own the rights. There's no lawyers, there's no editorial policy. We can say whatever we want. We distribute it, and then all the money gets split between the people who made it, not some middlemen, not some corporate record company or what have you.
And we've raised also another £350,000 to promote and distribute it. And we made our first payment last week to our investors. It wasn't big, we'll be honest, but at least we gave them something back.
And then onwards with the distribution as well, letting people screen it wherever they want, letting normal people charge for tickets and keep the profits for themselves, so anybody can profit from our film, which is, if the film belonged to the BBC or Warner Brothers or somebody like that, they most certainly would not be doing that. Anyway, back to Copenhagen.
Yeah.
So Tony, we're kind of assuming it's going to fail. We're not going to get a deal here as strong as the science says we need.
Yeah.
So what do you feel then that the citizens of the world, the people who rely on the atmosphere remaining habitable for human life, what do you think they should do?
I think there's probably 3 things to do.
Right.
Thing number 1 is to join the 1010 campaign. There's a little 1010 logo
it's like
here.
I told you to say that, but
Did you say that you didn't? You didn't say to say it at all. I'm just saying it because it's true.
Yeah.
Join the 1010 campaign. This is a source of personal agency in helping to cut emissions through what we can all do.
Yeah.
And I think
10% next year.
10% in
Easy.
2010, 10% out of next year's emissions. everyone signing up to that's going to create a nice kind of cultural dimension to the changes that have got to happen, because it's not only about international politics, it's about how people live, and the more of us who sign up to that kind of thing, the more that's going to help.
We had some great sign-ups last week. Sony and Newquay Zoo.
Oh, fantastic.
Our first zoo.
Nice. So that's one thing.
Yeah.
I think the other thing we've got to do is keep pressing for domestic action from companies and governments and local authorities. And, look what's happened in the UK. It's incredible. We've got the Climate Change Act there. We've got loads of companies doing things, local authorities doing stuff, irrespective of what's going on here. We've got to do that everywhere in the world and keep that moving and push that further. And the third thing we've got to do is hold these people's feet to the fire next year and keep bringing them back until they do what's necessary. And it ain't going to be over till it's over.
But what you're saying, though, is keep the same political system, even though it's failed today.
Well, I don't think we have a choice. It's taken 17 years to get this far with these negotiations, which some people may say, is not far enough, and they'd be right. But I think if you take just time to think through the implications of closing this down and starting something else. I mean, effectively.
I meant the wider political system.
This is one of the reasons why I'm standing for Parliament for the Green Party, is to bring some of these ideas into the mainstream there.
Good, yeah.
How about you, Tom? What do you think? What do you think we should do? If it all goes pear-shaped?
I don't think it's strictly going to go pear-shaped. I mean, I'm not walking out of G8 summit saying we have, everything's wonderful. I don't think it's pear-shaped, because I think the difference is now that governments are having to get their heads round to making commitments.
Yeah.
Whether it happens in the next 24 hours or not, that's where they're going to go. There's no going back, that's where they're going.
Yeah.
And it's dawning on them what the economic ramifications are for that. And they are that we have to build a global, sustainable economy. If we commit to this, then that's what that means. And that's like a massive shift that they're having to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like justifying all this ridiculous procedure bullshit that's been going on for 2 weeks at all. But like, if you sort of step out of the building and you look at it thinking, this is a mental thing we're trying to do here, and it's necessary, and I think it's going to happen, but it's going to be messy.
Yeah, because I completely agree with you. We are definitely moving in the right direction, especially now America's on board. But we're not moving in the right direction fast enough.
Okay, but but if say Obama had got in 3 years previous, now this whole negotiation would be somewhere else completely right now. Yeah. That's what you've got to bear in mind.
Yeah, but we've also got to bear in mind that we've got to stabilise global emissions by 2015.
Yeah, no, I know.
So we've only got 5 years left now to stabilise. So we haven't got time to spend another year chatting or another.
And the
2 years
Saudis are
chatting.
asking for money to bail them out. Is that right?
Yeah,
lost
really
revenue.
Yeah, they really need it.
How does that work?
Yeah, quite.
So you don't think we should smash the whole system as the?
No, it's ugly, and it's obviously
system.
barely working. But it's the only vehicle we have.
And thanks for the link to 1010, Tony.
Sure.
Tom, I was wondering whether you would care to sign up to 10% at 1010. All it means is that next year you have to cut 10% of your emissions.
Oh, I can do that.
Your personal. You could do it?
Yeah, I guess so.
It's pretty easy,
try.
actually. How,
you reckon?
Yeah, well, it depends how eco you are.
It depends how long
already
you've been doing it, exactly. Yeah,
how are you going to do yours, Tony?
I think it's going to be a combination of heating, I think. Travel's my big one.
Yeah.
I've been trying to cut down on the amount I'm moving around.
Yeah.
But like things like this, you take a big hit on this kind of stuff, and I'm working with the Rainforest Project with Prince Charles.
Yeah.
That's involved a fair bit of travelling too. But I think I can easily cut 10%. Well, not easily, because I have been trying already. I've cut already compared to what I was doing at Friends of the Earth. But I can probably do a little bit more there.
But in terms of flights, I have to say, we've got to, between us, cut about 90% of total flights.
Well, I believe George Monbiot, every flight you take wipes off everything you've done that year.
Pretty much, exactly,
So.
yeah. However, do you have a standard calculator that you're using to help people get their 10%?
We will do by 1st of January.
Okay, great,
as long
good.
as our web team works straight through Christmas.
Because there's probably some quite surprising things that people would need to put in there, like dairy products and concrete and cement, all that kind of stuff.
Have you got any supermarkets to sign up?
Have we got any supermarkets to sign up? Where is Dan? Have we got any supermarkets to sign up?
Big part of the co-op has.
A big part of the co-op, but also a section of Waitrose, the delivery part, Ocado.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Tesco and Sainsbury's
That's
have not.
that big hidden one, isn't it? The flying food around and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the food. And,
But we've got Microsoft, Adidas, O2,
You got
Pret a Manger.
Microsoft?
Oh yeah, baby. And 100 local councils, which between them provided services to a quarter of the British population. So all of those people will be getting those same services, but at 10% less emissions next year.
Wow.
You're going to have to sign up. There you go, Tom. Good
Bloody
luck.
hell, all right then.
Good luck with your
Yeah, I'm
emission
gonna
cuts
need it.
next year.
We'll work on it together.
Thank you so much for joining us, both
Thank
of you.
you.
And for bringing all these press with you, Tom. Yeah, I think you did, yeah. You probably crashed our server. Has he crashed our server again? No, the server survived the Tom effect.
Any tweets? Anyone tweeted anything back?
They are, look, they're all tweeting behind you. But I'm, Dan, we're going to bring Dan out now.